Welcome back to Where is the Money? And apparently the money is not with the workers at Microsoft. If you haven't heard recently, Microsoft made an announcement. They are laying off roughly 6,000 engineers, managers, workers, employees overall in all categories.
Yeah, Mike, Microsoft tells us it's laying off 3% of its global workforce. This is across all geographies and all levels of employment. This appears to be its largest cuts since early 2023, when it laid off 10,000 employees. Based on the last count of employees that we have, this would be about 6,000 employees with these global cuts. As for why this is happening, Microsoft tells us in a statement, we continue to implement organizational changes necessary to best position the company for success in a dynamic marketplace. And we see shares of Microsoft. We can get a chart up there. They were down a little bit, just fractionally down, it looks like right here. I'll send it back to you guys.
All right, Steve, thank you very much. Steve Kovac.
Is it because of their performance? Not really. Not really. So as they said, they're laying off 6,000 across the board, roughly 3% of the workforce. The workers feel a number of different ways, of which is betrayed, frustrated, sad, feeling lost, a number of different things that comes along with being laid off or let go from a different position, especially if you've been there 10, 20, 30 years. Yeah, that tends to change things a bit.
I was laid off from my job yesterday. It was my first corporate job after college. I was a performance marketer, and I was laid off despite the fact that in the little over a year that I was working for this company and running a media channel myself, my channel made the company literally tens of millions of dollars worth of revenue, despite the fact that during my time, again, the channel hit 4 campaign to date revenue records. So this is just your reminder, if you're really stressed out about your job, if you're crashing out, if you're working late, long hours, to take a step back, let go a little bit, because nothing is worth your health, especially not your mental and your emotional health. Certainly not this job. Nothing is worth giving all of your time and all of your energy over to, especially not this job, because at the end of the day, no matter what you do, you are still disposable in the eyes of that company.
Now, for most people, they can understand if they were being let go because of them not doing their job or not doing their job with the right expectations from the company, not meeting your quota, performance review, whatever have it, but that's not the case here. Some people speculate it's because of AI. They're quoting streamline their operation, but what does that really mean in everyday terms?
Imagine getting laid off after 25 years on your birthday. That's exactly what happened this last week to a Microsoft employee. A family member anonymously jumped on Reddit and told this employee's story. They had worked for Microsoft for 25 years. According to the family member, this employee never missed a day of work, rarely called in sick, and regularly worked 60 hours a week, 60 plus hours a week. It would also be on call during Christmas and other holidays, so other coworkers with children could stay at home. This employee won multiple awards for solving multi-million-dollar bugs, has also mentored hundreds of other employees at Microsoft. And after 25 years, Microsoft shows absolutely no loyalty. This employee gets randomly selected by a computer algorithm, whatever that means, and is now laid off. Guys, in case we need any other kind of reminder, there is no loyalty from these companies, even if you've been at the company for 20 plus years. You can spend 25 years of your life working really, really hard, helping make these companies millions, if not billions of dollars, and then get laid off. No job in 2025 is safe.
Does that mean we're going with AI because you guys are too expensive? I don't know. Now, whether it's AI related or not, here we are. Here is the situation. The problem here is the irony of the situation is that Microsoft recorded 25.8 billion with a B worth of profit. So it's not because they're losing money. So these set of employees are a part of a collection of employees that have allowed them to contribute to making that kind of money.
This is your reminder when you use the word laid off when you get fired from a job is like the same thing of, oh, someone passed away when they die. It's a softer term that corporate communications has latched onto because it's an easier way to say, we have fired you. And the root of the word and the saying goes back to the late 19th century in manufacturing when things were seasonal, there wasn't enough demand, the raw materials weren't available. They would lay people off temporarily. That was what the word was for. And lay, put something down, and off, put it aside. But nowadays, it's just another way for them to make it seem like things aren't really that bad when they are. Corporate is so sneaky and they'll use words like this to soften the blow, but realistically say, oh, you're firing me. Oh, I got fired. Because I know that word does kind of have this extra charge to it, and it is tough to use and say, I was fired. And by the way, I've been laid off twice, so fired twice. But that's truly what's happening. I saw 2 people on TikTok get fired today. One was at Microsoft for 22 years. I think we should bring back fired because that's what they're doing and they just want to sound sweet about it. And they're not sweet. They're not.
I just got laid off, and here's what I wish more people talked about. There's no warning. One day you're in your meetings, working, and the next day you're just off the org chart. Even when you know it's not about your performance, you're still left there wondering why and what you did wrong. Then you're left in survival mode. You're left there wondering about housing, food, cost, and you just start doing the math. Then you spend hours tailoring your resume, making sure that cover letter is all right, just to not get heard from and ghosted. If you've been laid off recently, you're not alone, and you're not the problem. The system is cold, but we don't have to be.
So it's not like you can't afford to keep on these individuals. And as we said, it's not based on them not doing their job in performing. So that being said is some people are feeling like this is a greedy corporate move unnecessarily. And they feel like they've had loyalty to this company and performed at this company, and there's no loyalty right back. So tell me what you guys make of this situation. Is this just a coincidence, or is this a growing trend in the way things are operating for the job market? That's for those that can find a job. Because now that these people are entering the job market again, yeah, things are looking a little grim out here. Your comments below. Let's talk about it. This is Where's the Money? Talk to you soon.